In today's crypto news, Useless is up over 100% since we mentioned it. We've also got Hosco up 26%. Altcoin season is loading. We come on down and we're going to spring up is the expectation. But first, stocks. Stocks on Solana. Whoever's the first partner or the first DApp to really use stocks well will have this major first move advantage, which is why I think Kamino is really primed. You can see their partnerships are working really, really well. This is Xstocks and Kraken. The first one's going to be Apple, Nvidia, Google, Meta, Tesla, SPY, QQ. Tesla is where the party's at, in my opinion, I think in terms of like pumpamentals, but we'll have to see whichever ones come as well. So this is big news for Kamino. We'll cover it as soon as it's actually live. It's coming soon right now. Breaking news, we've just had this given to us before the edit has been completed. So the Solana ETF with staking set to begin trading Wednesday. This is big news, and we've got Solana up 4.3% in the last hour. Altcoin season is loading. This is what Julian says. Looking at this here, we can see the outperforming Bitcoin over a rolling 90-day period, which is very, very cool. We can see that we're coming down. And when we come on down, we tend to get these, boom, these movements up. So Bitcoin dominance may go a little bit higher. You can see this, but we're pretty close to these levels. And then kaboom. And my expectation is, not financial advice, it's going to be a bit of a proper banana zone, like what Roll Paul says. Market cap of USD dominance. We always need to check out this. We had this market cap pinging up. This is on the 4-hour chart on Monday. So 1 week ago, we've come on down, and now we need to come up below this and then move on down like fully. So this is still in this consolidation period where we don't really know what we're doing. I think it's still a fun time, but it's not like a euphoric time. Bitcoin is having difficulty, and when Bitcoin has difficulty, we need to rely on all these macro news improvements, basically money printing. We need money printing, and that is coming soon as well. There's a big push from the Trump administration to print their way to riches. It's been spoken about quite a few times. We won't talk about it right now. We can see we need to break out of this trend. We need to come above 110,500 or thereabouts, and it's hitting this resistance point. We are above this support, which is resistance and then support, but we're not in a time when we're like, yes, we're going to start to balloon on up. Let's have a quick look at some TA, and we'll cover the calls that we're talking about a little bit earlier last week. So Hyperliquid, it wasn't in this super exciting time where we wanted to long or short anything particularly, and leverage is like a risky play. But just by using the fib tool, like it's so powerful, we've come off this 32 fib and we bounce right up. And it's still underneath its trend line, so it still needs to push higher. I think it's not going to be as easy as it was because the narrative is showing that, yeah, there's a huge amount of value in the club space. And now Hype, they have first mover advantage, but they won't stay there forever. And I do think Fogo Chain is certainly one to look out for when it goes live, etc., etc. So this is where the party's at right now. Just keep it in mind that you can go and you can use the fib tool, and you can enter at different levels, and you can always take profit as you come up higher if you want to just trade the ranges as opposed to just bag hold this into $50 or higher, of course. We can see as well with Solana, it doesn't have the same strength as Hype does. Hype, fastest horse, right? But we can see we came on down to the 0.618. We came on up. You can take profits here if you want to. And we came on up to the next level as well. And this is where we're having a little bit of difficulty, but I do think we are going to go higher, even though it's not super narrative based. We'll go over that shortly. Useless, which we'll touch on again shortly. This is up 100% from when we first started talking about it, which is brilliant. And Hosco's up, I said 26%, but it's up actually 47%. So this was the kind of move we're after, which is why we're talking about it. It just seemed, had outsized returns. The Bonk guy is like my favorite kind of KOL. He's not a shilly type. He's got a thesis for things. He publishes it and people attack him, and he just keeps on coming back. I really like him. He's got such he just, things work out when he's talking about it for the most part, to be perfectly honest. Bitcoin is still green on the 2-hour Katoshi settings. However, it's losing its steam here. So, that's an indicator. Like if you entered the trade, as soon as it starts to come off is typically when you would close the trade if you wanted to be or you'd move your stop losses up. to be perfectly honest. You can do whatever it is you want to do, but as soon as things start to unwind, like here, this peak around here, this is when I would have closed it. Back to Sol quickly, because Blunts is often called cycle tops, but I think he means like a cycle within a cycle. He says, I think we're back, baby. This is a couple of days old. Nice downtrend to break on Sol overnight. And we're in for a good week next week. Sol Eco starting to perk up and look really good again. We can see this with Useless and Hosco and other things. Back to our attention. Remember, with your Sol, stake your Sol with validator.com. Now, we've got some key events, and the one that I'm kind of paying attention to is a June ISM, because Raoul Paul talks about it. And as this comes on up, manufacturing in the US improves. As that improves, we get a lot more money being spent on things, which pushes up these asset prices. So we need to watch this because this will go hand in hand with money printing. Now, speaking of stocks, we keep on mentioning this, but I don't know how many people are actually participating in this. And I don't even have it up, but I'll pull it up in a second. Metaplanet, they've bought more Bitcoin. They're now like 5th biggest holder, I believe, in terms of the big companies, surpassing Galaxy Digital and CleanSpark. So if you just go and have a look at the stock price, if you had the ability to go and grab this stock, then you'd be up so significantly in just a short time, like 40% in a month, 6 months, even like 25th of April, 1 year. We've been talking about it for quite some time. Like, it's just outperformed like everything. And I don't have the ability to buy the stock, but if you could, it is a beautiful trade. Also, Michael Saylor, he keeps on buying more, and this is this ripple effect of how the money will go into Bitcoin. As much as, I think Sol has a lot of potential, Sui has a lot of potential. There are a lot of things that look good. Ideally, you do want to try and accumulate a Bitcoin. And within the next 2 years of what Michael Saylor says, he's got the most amount of influence on this. You can see 21,000 likes on it. Massive. In 21 years, you'll wish you bought more. He's said, like, in 21 years, one Bitcoin worth 21 million. It's just an idea. Who knows? Now, the reason why Bitcoin's not hitting its all-time highs is because there's a lot of miner selling and long-term holders are selling. So that's your basic block right now. Murad has a thesis, and the guy is outperforming in terms of like the altcoin plays, even if I don't think SPX 6900 is something where I want to put my money, other than just trading the TA signals. What he's talking about is it's going to be concentrated compared to the past. So in the past, like past cycle, anything that fit a narrative, you could put money in there, but people got smarter, thankfully. So if something was a metaverse project, even if they didn't even have a working product, their token would go up. If there are 5 daily users or 10 daily users, their token would go up. Now people are smarter, and it's not going to be like that. So you've got to go and find the best ones of what you're after. So for me right now, it changes. But I think Hosogo's got to play, Usa's got to play, Bonk, Pingu, Fartcoin. I don't see WIF in the same ecosystem. And I don't know of enough other ones on other blockchains to really see, yeah, that's got a massive value play. But if you do, you go with it. Speaking about Useless and the fact that people are referring it to the Cabal coin, you'll see this on GMGN, like people launching Useless with a C, you know what I'm referring to. This is not a cable coin. Can't even say that word. This is literally, he gave a thesis, and it's the only thing is it hasn't dipped down in price. It's just been a whole lot more potential. Now, Cadence talks about this, and the fact that he referred to Bonk had this initial pump in 2022, and then he had a thesis. And obviously Cadence is a core contributor. Price goes up, he benefits massively, but then it went up significantly, and then it went down, and then it kind of came up, and now it's kind of down, and it's been like it's significantly down at present, but only appropriate Useless comes from the Bonk ecosystem. So this is what he's saying is like Useless and Bonk are his conviction plays. And if we have a look at Useless on the daily chart, it's just green, 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 green. But if we scaled out differently would see that it had a major dip. These dips have just been eaten up because it is useless. It is funny. It kind of, it hits well in terms of that narrative. So one really important thing is you look at it on different charts, like an hour. I often talk about DLMMing. I've done enough tutorials on it that I'm pretty sure like I've got enough DMs of people saying like this has been helpful. You just need to go through that and you need to get further information from the LP army. If like there's a lot of risk just bag holding something, but if you provide a liquidity, you can't get the top, you can't get the bottom. It sells down, you buy some more if you're approaching using the fib. Things are not as simple as they were previous cycle, remember that. You buy down, you sell up, you still get some in fees, and it's a low risk play, and you get the MET points. Hosgo is the same thing. Like this is kind of our target. We will take profits along the way, but this is where it's been up to, and this is why when we went to like 19 million, or maybe it went a little bit lower, I think it was around here. Yes, we took a stop loss because it didn't perform well, but we still had some in a MET position for this kind of positive move up, which is up 47% or whatever the case may be. Until the biggest, most trusted KOL, in my opinion, that is not Shilly like Murad, until Bonk Guy stops talking about it, I like it. I do like it. The other thing that Bonk Guy is talking about is the Sol ETF is set to go live any day now. And then the Bonk, they also have an ETF. So these are like core positions that I'm interested in. Annoyingly, it's got this crazy wick up here to like 3.34 trillion on the chart, which is so annoying. So when you have to really zoom in order to find where it is on like the daily chart, which is like something I completely hate. But you can see it's significantly down from its all-time highs. Like it really is properly down. You can go and do your magical TA however you want. The thing is, Bonk saved Solana. In my opinion, Bonk saved Solana. I don't think Solana would be here in this state if Bonk did not happen. That's how big it is. And people, OGs, will remember. And OGs do have a large amount. And there will be a lot of people that will happily not sell this. This is like our first kind of ETH, like properly bullish token. Like Ethereum made so many millionaires, they would just go and buy something and just hold it there if they did well. It's good for the ecosystem. I feel Bonk is similar. We're becoming more mature on the Solana ecosystem. So do with that whatever you want. You're not going to make a massive amount from MET points because the liquidity is too high. But if you make some extra profits on things, not financial advice, I'm really down with the idea of accumulating some more Bonk, even though it doesn't have maybe the same ability to go up as useless. It's a safer play in many respects. The final thing I'll touch on is Cast. I'm so bullish on Cast. I don't spend enough time on Twitter like replying to things, and I apologize for this, but Cast is like such a brilliant thing. Use my code 71T. I use this for everything. It is the best way. Yes, it's KYC, but it works. It's good. The support is good, and they're getting better and better. And there's a point system, and this point system, I think this is like people are sleeping on this, and they shouldn't be sleeping on this. We've just seen how Human Finance, which is the stablecoin game, has done a really good token launch. Paren is out there as well. I probably need to cover that. And then, Circle, absolutely crazy valuation. Cast is in the same party. So I really want to get a podcast. I know people have asked, I want to do a podcast with the CEO and founder. But until then, get amongst it. Easy peasy. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time. Let me know your thoughts below.